Hello. It's so good to have you with me in my space right now. People ask me all the time, does selenite really have healing properties? Well, actually, I believe that it does. Each stone or crystal has its own healing properties. However, there is actually no scientific study or evidence that I could find that states that stones or crystals have any healing properties on their own. That scientific fact, however, has not deterred any alternative healing practitioner from using them and, believe it or not, using them with good or even prolific results. Some believe that the healing properties of crystal is actually a placebo effect. You believe it, so therefore it's true. Well, honestly, I can't say one way or another. However, I can give you my own opinion and the results that I have personally experienced. I did some research, and according to Forbes Health magazine, crystals still are considered kind of a pseudoscience. However, they have found some evidence that the existence of crystal healing actually dates back more than 6,000 years to the ancient Sumerians of Mesopotamia. For something that may or may not exist, there's a large amount of information available about the healing powers of selenite or crystals or stones or anything else, and that connection still continues to grow. Modern science simply may not have researched it enough to prove it. There aren't any peer-reviewed studies that prove the perfection of healing crystals. There really isn't any evidence to suggest that crystals don't do that, or there isn't any evidence that crystals do that. There is evidence that crystals do not harm anyone or anything, so long as it's not a replacement for traditional treatment. So, for instance, crystals are not a replacement for prescription medications or cancer treatment or mental health therapy. In the 1970s, IBM researcher Marcel Vogel coined the term vibrational medicine, and he referred to the belief that crystal healing alters the vibration of the body's molecular structure to match the vibration energy of whatever crystal is being used. I would agree with that. Crystals have a similar wavelength to the human body, which means they vibrate at the same tone as humans do and can enhance the body's natural healing process. Stanford University-based researchers agree that the mindset plays a significant role in health and in healing. Practitioners believe that the intention-based mindset of crystal healing, like what's cultivated in mindfulness meditation, can actually help with immunity, help focus, the emotional process, stress reduction, or really nervous system regulations. That brings us to one of my favorite crystals, selenite. I have used it so many times. Selenite. I keep this egg on my desk, and it has surprising results. Selenite, according to Adironda, is a stone from the future, which is interesting since they also say there is no time and space, so I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, it's been my experience that selenite, along with quartz crystal, this is a quartz crystal that I actually dug in Mount Ida, Arkansas, at our crystal digging retreat. Quartz crystal, they both together especially carry an extraordinary quality that seem to help rearrange the physical body and help provide a relief from pain, imbalance, release, illness, or even chronic disease. Quartz simply amplifies the energy of anything that it touches. When I wanted to sell my house, for example, I wrote a request on a piece of paper and wanted to bring in the perfect buyer to come for my house to purchase it as quickly as possible. I put that paper with a quartz crystal on top of it and set it out in my manifestation pyramid underneath the full moon. Both houses, I've done this twice now, both houses sold within 48 to 72 hours. Did the quartz have an effect on that? Who knows? Who cares? My house is sold. Selenite, however, is a little different story. This is a selenite sort of light, and it seems to work on a different level. This has been my result from working with selenite over the past 12 years. I put selenite around my house, and I use it in my own healing work through holographic healing. That's the alternative healing technique that I created. These are healing properties. These selenite carry those healing properties. Selenite actually follows the intention of the user and can never hurt anyone. It helps promote mental health and clarity. I keep it on my desk. When I move it, I can tell the difference. I can feel the difference. Selenite is also effective in removing blockages that can be caused by surgery. Or then anytime you have a surgery or an injury or anything like that, all of your meridians in that part of the body are disconnected. And the selenite can actually help reconnect those natural meridians. I used it when I broke my arm, when I couldn't sleep, and I held the selenite sword of light on it, and it seemed to help me sleep a lot better. When I have a headache, I use the selenite sword of light, or I use this little egg. I love it because you can just hold it right where the pain is, and the pain disappears. I've also used it on my own heart to help my heart return to normal size. I have used it to clear and harmonize the energy in a room. My mom, who doesn't believe in its properties, used it to clear out the blockage of her diverticulosis. And she ended up not having to have the surgery that the doctors told her that she was going to have. When using selenite swords of light in our groups, oh my goodness, we've just heard all kinds of stories, from removing chronic pain or shoulder pain to rebalancing the digestive system, and even healing a horse that was several miles away from our auditorium. And when Sekhmet or Adirondack came around and pointed the selenite sword at the person who was thinking about her healing her horse, the horse was healed, stood up, walked over, and got a drink of water. I use selenite for all kinds of things. Even just selenite on its own will balance my energy centers and the energy centers of my family. That then helps promote their health as well as my own. Honestly, I could go on and on sharing stories about the healing properties of selenite. If you want to know more about the properties of selenite, we are facilitating a selenite sword of light intensive on September 20th, 21st, and 22nd, right here in Branson, with our sword maker is going to be there. It's the only time our sword maker and me are getting together for an intensive right here in Branson. So this was not supposed to be a passion commercial, but that's kind of what this is. Please come join us. Anyway, does selenite have healing properties? Well, scientifically, who knows? But there is a great deal that science cannot explain. Does it work? Yes, it works for me, and it can certainly work for you as well. That's it for this week. Namaste, y'all.